Hello, everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven,
My name is Jerry.
and it is that time of year. The greatest time of the year. Baseball season starts
Oh,
tomorrow.
shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. No.
I,
And
you
first of
know,
all, this is going to be coming out after baseball season started, so you're already dating yourself.
okay. Well, hey, guess what?
But
Guess what, everybody? We don't record these live
we
to
should.
YouTube. Okay. We're actually, well, we're thinking about it. We're
We,
thinking
we,
about
we,
doing some
we
stuff.
are doing that.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
We're
as soon as
gonna do
Micro
some
Center
stuff.
opens up.
Yeah. Uh, well, baseball season is starting tomorrow, but the really greatest time of the year is draft season, NFL
Draft.
draft season. The draft is so much fun, and the Panthers have, you know, through a series of trades, shaped their draft this year. No first round pick, but two fairly early, one very early second round picks, and I think picks throughout the rest of the draft. So most of them fairly early on. And we're going to talk about some
Yes.
guys that we could see in Panthers uniforms in what about a month? I mean, today's the 27th. Is it the 27th of April, 28th of April,
Yeah, it's in
where
the
the draft
20s.
starts?
I know
Yeah.
that. It's coming up.
So we're basically a month away.
Yeah. I know usually we do this a little bit earlier, but we kind of slack because, well, let's be honest.
We didn't slack. We didn't slack. I feel like this is about the right time. I mean, free agency's kind of slowing down. Just had our big signing today that if you haven't heard us talk about, go check out our Jadeveon Clowney reaction episode. But this feels like the right time.
Yeah,
A month before the draft feels like the right time.
I feel like we usually started a little earlier, but I felt like my wounds needed to heal from last season, so I still
Nobody
have
wanted to talk
scars.
Panthers football for, for a while. I mean,
Yeah,
we took like almost 2 months off.
yes, I'm pumped now.
Yeah.
We were talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it,
I'm
but okay,
excited. I'm excited to get back to recording a lot and talking about the Panthers. And today, who are we starting with, Jerry?
we are going to start off with Texas wide receiver Adonai Mitchell. I believe that is how you say his name. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. Not like Adonai is going to be watching or listening to this.
That's what you think.
Yeah.
That's what you think.
A junior out of Missouri City, Texas, 6'2", 205 pounds, ran a 4.34 40-yard dash, 1.52 10-yard split, 39.5 foot or inch vertical, broad jump 11.4. Those last couple ones, no one knows except interior guys. But we know the 4.34 is good.
Yeah, the 4.34 is real good. And one of these guys we were talking about that's just freaking fast. Speed is something we haven't had the wide receiver position. Speed and some of the other things this guy has together. Just not something we've had since like Steve Smith?
I don't know
I mean,
about
Ted
that.
Ginn. Who
Yeah,
have
I
we
don't
had
know.
recently that's fast with good hands? I mean, Ted Ginn didn't have good hands, but it'd
DJ
be
Moore
nice.
had some good hands,
Yeah, but was he
it took him a
fast?
while.
He wasn't 4.3 fast.
I want to say he was. We'll have to look that up.
All right, we'll
We're
find
trying to
that out.
keep these shorter, so.
Sorry, I derailed us already.
We need to get a scratch noise whenever one of us derails, like right now. Adonai
Yeah.
Mitchell was a 3-star recruit out of Missouri City, Texas, before playing his senior season in Tennessee, where he was named the 2019 Tennessean Regional 5-6A Athlete of the Year. I mean, he played 1 year and got that. So Adonai committed to Georgia after initially committing to Ole Miss, flip-flopper, after winning 2 national championships at Georgia, including catching the 40-yard touchdown late in the fourth quarter to put them ahead in the 2022 national championship game. In 2023, he transferred to Texas because he wanted to be closer to his daughter. In his lone season at Texas, he was named 2023 second team All Big Ten. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with him transferring, especially because he said he wanted to be close to his daughter, because he said he graduated out of Tennessee, and I was like, how did he have a daughter in Tennessee? That was just a random thing, and then I had to do some more digging. It looks like he was picked up from one of those high schools that always has the greatest team.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
I
Yeah.
would assume that's happened. I mean, I can't 100% say that, but growing up in Texas, then all of a sudden go to Tennessee, get athlete of the year. Yeah, that just seems
One of the factories, one of the
yeah,
football factories. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
right.
Texas seems to be where you'd want to be, but again, it's full of great players. So
Yeah. And you got a
you maybe
school
stand
saying,
out a
"Hey,
little more. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, hopefully his daughter will be able to come to Carolina with him if the Panthers draft him.
Yeah. Why don't
I
you
like that. I like that he made that decision.
No, I do too. Like usually
I
when
think
you
that speaks to character.
so in 2021 with Georgia, he played in 15 games, had 29 receptions, 426 yards, and 4 touchdowns. In 2022, he only got 6 games, 9 receptions, 134 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So his daughter may be part of the problem, or part of the reason. Yeah, not the problem. I'm sorry. I meant part of the
Kids,
reason.
man.
Yeah, mine got me sick. So, but his play time did decrease. So maybe transferring to Texas, you know, games 14 in Texas, 55 receptions, 845 yards receiving, and 11 touchdowns. 11
That's more
touchdowns.
like it.
That,
That's more
yeah.
like it. Yeah, I mean, I like him. I like a taller receiver, 6'2". It's good. But there are some cons. Let's start with the cons first. We'll do the pros and cons. We'll start with the
I
cons
always
first.
like to end on pros. I'm sorry. That's how I write it out
Yeah.
because I want to be positive towards these guys because they've worked hard.
They have worked hard. So we'll go light on the cons. All right. Some of the cons, unpolished, you mentioned it, didn't play a ton in high school. He's less than 100 games in college. 14, 93 games, or I'm sorry, 35 games, excuse me, 35 games in college. So may need some polishing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. Lacks effort in run blocking. Okay. Hello, every wide receiver in the league. Right.
Except named Steve Smith, who
Yeah,
would.
except a few, but that's not something that we haven't seen. Although with him and Deontay Johnson together, that might be a problem. Uh, takes plays off when he's not the primary target. Again, I mean, we see that from some of the greatest receivers in the league. Will rely on catching the ball with his body instead of using his hands. Don't love that. Bit of a
Sometimes
problem in the NFL.
sometimes when the ball's thrown up, what typically he could catch it with his hands, he'll instead kind of lean back to catch it with his body and
Mm.
cradle it. So
Yeah, the guys that let the ball come to him, seems like that gets picked a
yeah,
lot.
but that's not he can catch with hands. Don't say that he doesn't have good hands.
Okay, you wrote these cons, not me.
I'm
Uh,
sorry. I just want to point that out because I could see someone in the Texas saying he has great hands. I'm not saying that. He just
okay,
sometimes relies on cradling it a little
gotcha.
too
He
much.
doesn't always catch with his hands. And then he lets smaller corners contest catching the ball with his hands. Again, exactly what we said, right?
Yeah.
Like he lets the ball come to him. That allows corners that maybe he should easily beat get past him.
Yeah.
Get the ball.
He needs to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Uh
Something you
that
can coach.
that being said, here's the pros list. He
Catches
is
with his hands.
he's fast and a good size.
Yeah.
Excellent at tracking the ball in the air. I was watching his highlight reel. It's amazing to actually watch it because Ewers, the quarterback at Texas, underthrows him or overthrows him so
Mm.
much. But this guy tracks the ball in the air 20 yards and can maneuver himself in it. His cuts are just slick. Very smooth cuts and fast route running. You'll just see him go do, and the corner is just 10 yards down the field on the opposite side. It is
Yeah.
very smooth and fast. It is very impressive. He has a good fat first step to beat man press coverage and knows how to get open, especially deep. Like this guy somehow gets open. Obviously in college it's going to be different than the NFL where the corners are a
Hmm.
lot better, but
Yeah.
He gets open.
One of the things that I was reading about him was that just, I mean, and you mentioned it, but I would like to talk about it a little more, is that he's an elite route runner. Like he is one of, and again, Deontay Johnson, that's something he's known for, being an elite route runner. So to have, Thielen, very good route runner, like to have a full complement of wide receivers that are great route runners, pretty good.
Yeah.
Something you like. But yeah, that was one of the, that's, I think some of the websites I was looking at, that was kind of his highest rated skills was, elite route running.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like he is, if he played another year, I think he's an easy first round talent. I think
Yeah.
his
He might still be.
100%. I put him in here because I was reading mocks and that's who I judge on who we need to like look at.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they had us picking him, and I like once I watched his tape and really got into him, this guy could be the guy.
Yeah.
Now, again, very little on, less than 39 games played in college. I mean, and he lacks some effort, so you got to worry a little bit about, hey, is this guy going to be a wide receiver diva, or is he going to be put the work in?
Again, wouldn't be the first
Oh no,
diva at wide receiver.
It wouldn't be the first diva in the NFL that just didn't want to put the work in. He got his paycheck and left.
Right.
Not saying he would. I don't know.
Not saying that. Yeah. Not saying that that's what he is. But the taking plays off stuff, again, I mean, I see that every Sunday. That doesn't bother me too much. I would prefer if he was, just a rabid dog like Steve Smith, and just even on the plays off, he's just getting in the corner's face and,
Ice
like
up,
basically crawling inside his face mask, like Steve Smith used to do. But not every wide receiver's hardly any wide receivers are like that, right?
Yeah.
Especially nowadays. So that doesn't bother me too much. And I read he had good hands. So let's be very clear on that. He has good hands. What we're saying is he doesn't always go up and get the ball. Okay.
Yes.
That's all we were saying.
I would be 100% ecstatic if we got him, because I see number one receiver potential all over him. Like,
wow,
it is very good. Again, you're gonna have to put work into him. Your coaching staff is gonna have to be there, make sure he does it, and everything else. So
yeah,
that relies on coaching and if he falls to us. Because look at Mingo. Mingo started getting better towards the end of the season. That may be his route too, where he's not a great out of the gate, but he can start coming on later on.
Yeah. Well, having a guy like Adam Thielen on your team, nice veteran wide receiver who's had success, he's going to command some respect from these young guys, and that's going to help. I don't remember who our wide receiver coach is.
I don't either. I remember last year's, but I don't remember who. I think he's probably a transfer over from Tampa. It seemed like he brought a lot of his staff from
likely, yeah. Well, pretty good receivers at Tampa, so
yeah.
Let's try to model after that. All right. Any do we want to like rank these guys? I'm not sure.
I don't think we want to rank them yet.
I'll tell you what. Right now, he's the number one wide receiver we talked about.
100%. If the draft was today, we were on the clock. With all the knowledge I have done, he's our pick.
That may change next week. We'll see. All right. I think that's going to do it.
All right. We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. If you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on the show.
We'll be back in a few days with our next draft profile. Until then, everybody stay safe out there and keep pounding.